Alright, so this is your ratio notes. Ratios is a ratio is a good way to compare two items. When writing a ratio, both of the items must have the same units. If they do not have the same units, you must change one of them to match the units. There are 3 ways to write a ratio. The first way is with the word 2. So like 3, 2, 4. Another way is with the colon. 3, 4. The last way is as a fraction. So 3/4. So you must always put a ratio in the simplest form. Just like any other fraction, you have to put it in the simplest form available. Now this one says write each of the following ratios in all 3 forms. First one, A, 1, 2, 4, or 1:4. Well, I already have the colon one, so I need the one that is with the word 2, and I also need the fraction. Now I do realize it is a little bit simplified as much as possible, because 1 and 4, while 1 is as low as it can go. 7 to 9. Well, I already have the one with the 2, so I need the other 2, the one with the colon, one with the fraction. What I need to see is it as simple as possible. Well, 7 can't go into 9, so yes. So I take 7:9, and then 7/9. C, 8/12. Well, they're both even, so I know I can take 2 out of them. Well, that gives me 4/6. Oh, they're still even again, so I can take 2 more. This gives me 2/3. Oh, 2/3, that's as best as it can get, and that's a fraction form. So I need to write 1 with the word 2, and then 1 with the colon. All right. A ratio can be written comparing part to part or part to whole. A school bus has 12 girls and 18 boys on it. Write each of the following simplified ratio in all 3 forms. Also, write whether this is an example of part to part or part to whole. Girls to boys. Well, there are 12 girls and 18 boys, so it's going to be 12 to 18. Well, 12 and 18 can both be reduced down by 6. So this gives me 2 to 3. Well, this is one form. I write one form with the 2, and then one form over here. The next question says, is it part to part or part to whole? Well, girls is part of it, and so is the boys, so it's just part to part. Boys to girls. All I did was flip it. So here, it's 18 to 12. Well, that does reduce by the same amount, and it gives me 3 to 2. Sorry, 3 to 2. And it's 3 to 2, or 3/2. It is still part to part. Girls to total kids. To find my total, I'm going to take 12 plus 18, which does give me 30. My girls is 12, so it's 12 to 30, but that can be reduced down by 6. it does give me 2 to 5. So it's 2 to 5, 2 over 5. Well, it's part to all, so it's part to whole. So this is like the total or the sum or all. Voice the total. Well, instead of 12, I put 18. This part and this reduce by 6 gives me 3 colon 5, 3, 2, 5, and then 3 over 5. And this is part 2 whole. Okay. Now, we said earlier that all ratios have to have the same units. If they do not have the same units, you must convert them to have the same units. So like number 1 says 60 minutes to 2 hours. Well, we know that there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. Now, I could reduce the 60 minutes to become hours, or I can change 2 hours to become minutes. Well, I'm going to change it to 2 hours because I don't like to go to 1, because that makes no sense. So to go from 1 to 2, I take that times 2. So I got to take 60 times 2. 60 times 2 is 120. So here, instead of 2 hours, it's 120 minutes. So it's 60 minutes over 120. That can reduce down by 10. Which gives me 6 over 12, which can reduce down by 6, which is 1 over 2. Number 2, there is 12 inches and 1 foot. So I'm going to change the 36 inches to how many feet? 12 times 3 gives me 36. So I gotta take 1 times 3, which is 3. So instead of saying 36, you say 3 feet. So this is 3 over 3, which is the same thing as 1 to 1. $6 to 32 quarters. There are 4 quarters for $1. So 32 quarters gives me $8. So this is actually 8. I put 6 over 8. It does reduce it because it is even. Down by 2 gives me 3 over 4. Equivalent ratios. It's similar to fractions. You can reduce them or enlarge them, like we did in normal. They must be reduced or enlarged by the same number. So like number 1, 3/5 equals what over 15? Well, 5 times what gives me 15? Well, that's 3. So I got to take 3 times 3, which is 9. I can pretend the 2 is where the slash is. 1 times what gives me 2? Well, that's 2. So I got to take 2 times 2, which is 4. The last one. The colon is also where the slash is. So it's the 2. Notice I connect the 2 back ones. 90 times 2 gives me 180. So I gotta take 67 times 2, which is 134. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.